And
business
these are the
battle
different
started, right? So
contents I will be talking about. And I did an internship on a tech company named Inkwell Venture located at Jamshedpur. And
कस्तो
I had two
नराम्रो क्वालिटी
interns,
थियो यार
one Smaraj Nagarmi, the designer, and the developer named Saijul Sakya. And these are different domains my company used to work at. And let's talk about the objectives things. Was
त्यसले चेन्ज
I have
गरेको थाहा छ
to
यहाँ यहाँ
learn
अरू
and
चाहिँ चेन्ज
learn
हाने चाहिँ यसले
UX and UX
मलाई अघि भनेको जस्तो
development,
नि त
and specifically for the internship activities, I did two things: design and development. Let's talk about design. For design, I used Adobe softwares, namely Photoshop and XD. Photoshop was used to design different things, and Photoshop is a very vast software, and XD is a small portion of Photoshop, specifically designed for the design of the user interfaces for different needs like websites, apps, desktop softwares, web softwares, anything.
Ah,
So talking about Photoshop, I made these different designs for social media post. Well, this one is for one house solution, another for red cherry, and another is for one house solution. I did around 20 designs in Photoshop like this for social medias, and which enhanced my knowledge in Adobe Photoshop. And talking about Adobe XD, I did this small sample design for the app's development, and this is a very dummy design. It is not that real-time project specific. I did another one also, which I cannot include because it would be very lengthy. So these are about the designs in Adobe Photoshop and Adobe XD. And let's talk about the development. For
अन्त
development, I use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript
बाटो छ केटा
specifically. And HTML and CSS are the most used tools during the development. JavaScript was used around 5 or 10% only. And this was the very first project or assignment I was assigned to. This is a sample design of the one web page, and next one I did
कालो
create
भएर मैले
a
हेरेँ
company profile website. This was somehow a real-time project, but it has and I have to and I used HTML, CSS, and a small portion of JavaScript to execute this particular website. And these two are the only snapshots from the project. And I have linked the Git repo link for more information if you want to check. And this one is the third website. This is a very multi-page website designed and developed in
दामी हाने
uh,
मुभी
HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and very small portion of PHP for the
बर्थडे
coding
भयो
part.
दिन पर्यो
And
भने
these only two are the snapshots from the websites. There are a lot of snapshots I should have included, but it would become very lengthy, so I haven't included. And these are the development things I have done. So in conclusion, I learned about the professional working style,
मैले यही हालेको थिएँ कि
professional
हटाइदियो क्या
hours
अघि
in the company, also the teamwork and
दुइटा
discussion
यसको
skills we
दुइटा
had
बल्लको लिएर हालिदिएको
discussed
माथि माथिको
around the developers and designers. We were around 5 6 people there. And the next is UI and UX design as well as development perspective. These days,
मलाई
front end
लियो है
development is not only about
के
coding,
ले
it's all about design as well, and it's all
यहाँ
about
हो
user
भनेको
interfaces and user experiences. And these days, big companies have been recruiting designers as well as developers
खै
independently for better
खै मलाई
enhancement
लिएन
of the user interfaces and user experiences
म
and user
खान्छु भने
interfaces. And these are the lesson learned and my conclusions. And that's all about. Thank
okay,
you.
thank you, Ranjan, for presentation. So I have only one suggestion or question, maybe comment
Yes, sir.
related with your report only. So you have done a very nice work. So go to the objectives title in your report, where you have only written the general objectives. You have not specified the objectives of your project or whatever of your tech during the internship. So you have just written like this: to provide online exposure of a company, to provide online portfolio of a company, to market a company and online. यो यस्तो भयो नि त तपाईले चट्ट तपाईले तपाई त फ्रन्ट एन्ड डेभलपमेन्टमा तपाईले डिजाइनिङको काम पनि गर्नु भएको छ हैन त्यो कुराहरु पनि आउनु पर्यो यो त जस्ट दिज आर जस्ट जनरल अब्जेक्टिभ्स कुनै स्पेसिफिक भएन है मैले भनेको कुरा बुझ्यो होला यो चेन्ज गर्ने अरु कुराहरु ठिकै छ किन बिकज you know designing is also important part when we talk about the quality of software because it gives us a very nice look and feel right so front end development पनि किन वेबमा त धेरै नै हुन्छ तर अब ठिकै छ काम राम्रो छ तर त्यो रिपोर्टमा चाहिँ अलिकति मिलाउने है त ओके थ्यांक यू भेरी मच
हजुर सर
नेक्स्ट प्रेजेन्टर
ओके
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
ओके रिसभ
ल बोल्न आयो बोल्न
रेकर्ड गर
सो तपाईले उ गरेर राख्नु भएको छ भिडियो ब्लग गरेर राख्नु भएको छ होस्टले
गमले नान्देलाई
सत्य एकदम कस्तो हुन्छ फेरि त अहिले
हेरौँ त छैन होला
भएको छैन त
फेरि ट्राई गरौँ सबैको भइरहेछ
कैन स्टार्ट
ब्लक गरेछ नि मलाई नि त्यही भएन
एउटा कोर्स बनाइदिए भइहाल्यो
रेकर्ड गरेर
आयो डोन यसको रिकर्ड गरे हेरि
आइरहेछ सर
Go.
ठिक छ फुल स्क्रिन गरौँ अनि ओके
फुल स्क्रिन So, good afternoon, sir and my colleagues. So today I am here to present
त्यसो थोडा हेर्नु मिल्दैन
UI designing for my internship project. So these are my internship project. This presentation. Talking about the company. I worked in Pro Digital Empire for 3 months.
रेकर्ड गरे
त गर्नु मैले कसरी गर्नु मलाई
मेरो साउन्डै आएको छैन के मलाई
company.
मैले कहाँ गर्नु नि गर्नु मलाई
And these are the 3 services which are provided by the company, which is web development, digital marketing, and search engine optimization. And talking about the introduction of the internship, I worked as a graphic designer and a UI designer in Pro Digital Empire, and I worked with multiple clients like Ruffle Truffle Cakes, Magic Footwear, Homesick, and many other clients. And I also designed for UI design for the mobile interface for Homesick and web interface for Ruffle Truffle Cakes, and also designed logos under the mentorship of my mentor there. And I was assigned with the role of designing the social media contents as per the client's need, which included Google Ads banner, product display ads, GIFs, infographics, and motion graphics videos. Also, multiple clients' logo designs were made according to their preferences. And I also designed the user interface, which included mobile and web. And talking about the objectives of the internship, I learned about the principles of designing, which included alignment, hierarchy, contrast, white space, and typography. And also to have some good knowledge about the scope of designing in the running industry. And talking about the internship activities, I used 5 major tools, which included Adobe Photoshop, which was used mostly for the raster images editing, and for the vector images I used Illustrator as well as Photoshop. And for the UI designing, I use Adobe XD and Figma, where Figma is the open source software you can easily use, And finally, for video editing and GIFs, I use After Effects. So these are the designs I created for social media posts. And these are the logos which I created. And these are the UI designs for the mobile as well as web. And this is the use case diagram. This is the sequence diagram. So what I learned in internship was that every project must be completed in time, in deadline. And punctuality is the must in business for becoming professional businessman. Basic principle for creative pleasing design. That was what I learned. And finally, I experienced the real world, what designing is in the real world. And I to create a passion for learning and researching. And I learned to adapt with new designs. So, thank you.
Thank you. Question in now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So you just design logos or the similar things, or you also design the web-based, interface of websites. Logos.
Web-based as well as logos. Yeah.
But your work, it seems like more designing logos, right? Adobe Photoshop, XD. You tell me one thing. Why do we need wireframe? What is the primary use of wireframe?
For the developer, for the ease of the developer.
Is it used for designing the like interfaces or any other thing? Wireframe.
Wireframe.
Yes, wireframe.
Simply एउटा रफ स्केच मात्रै हुन्छ वायरफ्रेम चाहिँ डिजाइनरको लागि नै अब यो लगइन बटन यता हुन्छ त्यो रफ स्केच बनाउँछौँ अनि पछि डिजाइनिङ टुलमा गएर त्यही इम्प्लिमेन्ट गरेर इन्टरफेस डिजाइन बनाउने अनि त्यही डेभलपरलाई दिने
वायरफ्रेमको डिजाइनलाई हामीले अटोमेटिकली उता राख्नु मिल्छ
अटोमेटिकली भन्नाले सर
अटोमेटिकली इन्टिग्रेट गर्न सकिन्छ Otherwise, is it just a drawing tool?
Wireframe design.
हामीले बनाउँछौँ हैन
हजुर
राम्रो लुक एन्ड फिल भएको टुलहरु लाइक होला नि अब CSS हरु यस्तो फ्रेमवर्कहरुमा डाइरेक्ट कन्भर्ट गर्न मिल्छ
यो फिग्माबाट मिल्छ सर त्यता कोडै दिन्छ CSS को अनि त्यही कपी गरेर हामीले पेस्ट गर्न सक्छौँ
हुन्छ ठीक छ ल नेक्स्ट जानुहोस् न
So, so मलाई रेडी छ पुरै ओके रोशन राई